Georgia, a state that has long been a Republican stronghold, is one step to electing its first Democratic senator in more than a decade. And WNBA players may have been instrumental in turning the tide. Democrat Raphael Warnock has officially forced a January runoff against incumbent Senator Kelly Loeffler in the Peach State after neither candidate broke through the jungle special elections' crowded field to secure 50% of the vote. The seat they're vying for, which was abdicated by Republican Johnny Isakson in 2019, could be decisive in determining which party controls the U.S. Senate. Kelly Loeffler is sworn in as a U.S. Senator. Reuters' Leah MillisLoeffler had little to no political experience before Georgia Governor Brian Kemp appointed her to the open Senate seat last year. But the self-proclaimed political outsider has long been a prominent businesswoman, and one of her most front-facing investments has come back to bite her. In 2010, Loeffler became a co-owner of the Atlanta Dream, the WNBA's Georgia-based team and its lone representation in the Southeastern United States. And 10 years later, she became an enemy to the notably progressive WNBA community, so much so that the league's players openly endorsed her opponent in the middle of the season. Before a slate of games in July, players on each of the WNBA teams donned T-shirts that read, "Vote Warnock." According to the New York Times Sopan Deb, 11-time WNBA All-Star and Seattle Storm superstar Sue Bird coined the idea for players to support Warnock in such fashion publicly. And even members of the Dream joined in on the effort. Phoenix Mercury players wear "Vote Warnock" T-shirts. Phoenix Mercury, when we realized what our owner was doing and how she was kind of using us and the Black Lives Matter movement for her political gain, we felt like we didn't want to feel kind of lost as the pawns in this, Atlanta star Elizabeth Williams told The Times. According to ESPN's Holly Rowe, WNBA players held Zoom meetings with Warnock to understand his platforms better and ensure that they were comfortable showing public support for his candidacy. They also sought guidance from former Georgia Democratic gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams, who became a WNBA Players Union board member in 2019. Within 2 days of the WNBA Players' collective action, Warnock's campaign announced that it had raised nearly $200,000. In the coming weeks, Warnock began using his new funds for TV spots, and it eventually translated to a surge in the polls. "I think it was helpful," Warnock told USA Today Sports of the WNBA players' endorsement. "It was one of many turning points in the campaign. It gave people a chance to look a little closer and say, who is this Warnock guy and what is he about?" Reverend Raphael Warnock. Jessica McGowan Poole via REUTERSLoeffler responded to the players' bold move of supporting her opponent by accusing them of being more concerned with playing politics than basketball.